So that's really became harder to connect with anybody. And our chapter houses have internet. We're under the Mexican Water Chapter House. So the chapter house used to have internet, but I understand it's very limited now, because when I work, sometimes I go home and I work from the chapter house at UNM to communicate with my PI. So we have, sometimes we're online, sometimes we're not. It's in and out. It depends how many people are on the net. So it's very limited. I know that from my chapter. It is there, but it's not that reliable. So all the issues you talk about, everybody's experienced it to a certain level, and everybody's affected by it. I think it's just to educate and educate more, to make it, to help elders, especially our elders, to make it easy and have them, I guess, tell them that it's curable, and that when you come into the hospital, it is curable. Anything's possible. My mother was diagnosed at stage 3. Now she's a 6-year survivor. She'll be 7 years this year. So it has not slowed her down any, her cancer, not at all, except age maybe. So she's done really well, and I think this, talking about the telemedicine, if we can make it run smoothly and have it reach all the chapter houses to meet all the HIPAA laws and all these things, and work with the CHRs, I think it can work. I think it will work. I think it's a good next step in working with elders in the community. I know it's still going to be a lot of culturally appropriate issues that are going to get into play here, but there's ways around it. I mean, the more we involve the Navajo Medicine Men Association and not leave them behind, I think it will be a good project for somebody to undertake or to continue to have it grow.
Thank you, Ophelia. And Ophelia, also I would appreciate if you would mention the fact that you're involved with our project and how you brought your whole family to meet with us to offer your help. So if you could comment on that.
Yeah, I think I was invited to a meeting, I think last spring, and my mother was on her follow-up with her oncologist in Albuquerque, and it just happened, things just worked out. We were on our way back and this meeting was happening, and I brought her to the meeting, and it was just so appropriate, and I was telling her, you're not the only one going through this, Mother. Look at all these people that are concerned about all the issues, but when you're afflicted with cancer, I feel when people show you pamphlets or they show you the 800 number, you just still feel very helpless. And I told her, no, people are here. They're closing that gap, because when you're afflicted with cancer on the reservation and you're so far away from health care, you don't know the questions to ask, you don't know who to approach or how to get the help you want, and just as good as mainstream America is getting, it is a huge disconnect. And I told her, you're getting the best. Look at everybody's talking about the problems that we went through with you. And I was telling my mother that, and she really was wanting to attend the meeting, but she didn't get a chance to. But she's aware, and I told her she might come tomorrow. So she may attend tomorrow, but my daughter's here. So our whole family is pretty much involved, because my grandmother was diagnosed with breast cancer at age 40. My father died of lung cancer because from uranium. He was a uranium miner. So I'm a uranium child, so I don't know what my future holds for me because I grew up drinking water from uranium wells. My father came home with uranium all over his clothes. So I don't know what I have or what I didn't get. That's the kind of that's why I think I'm involved with cancer. And when I got the opportunity to work with Navajo people, this was the way I wanted to help back my people, or relatives. When you're a Navajo, you always have relatives all over.
You always have family, which is very
Yes.
special.
Mhm.
Thank you, Ophelia, and I
You're
want you to
welcome.
share that because I feel it is a family problem
Mhm. It is.
or a family issue.
Mhm.
And only a family together can really make that difference. And I was so
Mhm.
pleased when your mother was here, like you said, whatever she understood or did, and what she saw were other people here, women, and there were men, sons and brothers, wanting to be involved and wanting to help. Plus, Ophelia is going to be doing her Cancer 101 tomorrow in Navajo for our program. And I'm really happy about that. I feel that's so important. And I really appreciate your offering to do that. Again, always trying to constantly be, offering everything we can in a way that is going to be useful for many people. So that's a real big step. And again, Kitty is involved with our DNA breast prevention training program, and will be one of the people who will be going out and reaching out in the community. And again, being able to, communicate in Navajo, we know that for many people, that will be one of the most important pieces, is that they will be hearing from someone who's either experienced it themselves or has a family member that can say, I know how you feel. So it's really great.
One of the things I want to mention in terms of funding for programs here, the Susan G. Komen Foundation was very clear that we needed to show how this was going to be culturally appropriate, sensitive and appropriate. And of course that fit with what our values were, mine and Barbara's. So I think, and what we will need to be showing them in our reports is documenting how we integrated this in with what's culturally appropriate here. And the other thing is that this is a pilot program for the Komen Foundation. So I think through this work and through how we share it back with them, we can be showing other people how to approach this and what works and what doesn't work. And I think that would be true as we continue to talk with the Rosalind Carter Institute, because we know that just people coming in and dropping programs may last for 1 year, and you've just spent money and frustrated everybody.
Right,
So,
and that's one of the issues that we deal with too, is coming into a community and how are we going to keep this program sustainable, and we try to approach those communities trying to prolong our program, or at least I think we're going to give, when we do our survey, we'll be able to give them numbers. That way if there's other people in the community that want to write grants, they will have numbers to deal with. And then speaking on, yes, and then the other issue about culturally appropriate, working with communities culturally appropriately is, I can speak with about 2 communities, and maybe where I come from too, is the cultural issues are very unique to communities. So there's always a degree when you approach a community, to approach somebody that lives in the community, that can speak for the community. That way they can gauge the culturally appropriateness of each community. The communities I work with, although they're both in New Mexico, they're satellite reservations, they're very, very different.